Executive Mums Power Coach. So basically, I help mums who are executives from a weak pelvic floor to maintaining and achieving and maintaining a good posture, a power posture. So, um, if you saw my last video, it was all about what is golfer's elbow, why do you get golfer's elbow, and basically signs and symptoms so that you know you're aware that you are suffering from golfer's elbow. If you haven't seen that video, you can still have a look at this. This is a separate standalone video on its own. However, if you want to see my previous video on golfer's elbow, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can check it out there. If you like what you're watching, you can always like and subscribe my YouTube channel so that you are aware of any future videos that come that are published. Okay, so going back to 3 easy tips to manage golfer's elbow. Now, the first one is, if you've known me for a while, you probably can guess this. I would say apply cold pack. I give that advice on a lot of topics a lot of times, but that is because cold packs are the simplest and easiest thing to do at home. If you don't have a cold pack, just pop some crushed ice or just put some ice into a Ziploc bag or a plastic bag and just apply that on the affected part. Just make sure that you have a layer of cloth between the ice pack and your skin, because you can get a burn from cold, similar to how you get a burn from a hot pack, right? If it's too hot. So for golfer's elbow, it is pain in the inner aspect of your elbow. So basically what you're going to do is apply the cold pack on this area. And as we discussed in the video last time, you can have pain going down into your forearm and into your fingers. So these are the areas where you want to apply the cold pack, because there can be inflammation in that area, especially if you have pain in that area. Okay, so the second tip for managing your golfer's elbow at home is take a break. Okay, so if I am in the habit of sitting with my hand under my chin, which I am guilty of, so if I sit like this all the time for hours together, do take a break, right? If you know that by sitting like this, you are going to get that pain and discomfort because your tendons, your muscle here is being stretched over the wrist joint, take a break, try and keep your wrist in neutral. That is my third point, which I'm coming to. But take a break. Okay, if you're in the habit and you just can't help it, there are ways to manage that. Either you could use a brace or you could set reminders on your phone, something that reminds you to check whether your wrist is in neutral. So, coming to my third point, how do you check if your wrist is in a neutral position? And actually, why do you need your wrist to be in a neutral position? Now, what happens is, suppose going back to the same example of putting my hand under my chin, if I sit like this all the time, what is happening is my muscle that starts over here goes into my forearm and into my or over my wrist and into my fingers. It is actually getting stretched. This is a stretched position for this muscle. So think about it yourself. You've got a rope going all the way here and anchoring into your fingers. Obviously this will stretch the rope, right? So what you're going to do is try and maintain your wrist in neutral so that you don't stress that already inflamed muscle. So when you say neutral, you want this angle to be neutral. So you don't want your wrist to be bent. You don't want your wrist to be extended back like this. So this is one part of keeping your wrist neutral. The second part is that you want to have this in a straight line. So if you draw a line from the middle of your forearm down here into your hand, into your palm of your hand, you want this in neutral. So basically you don't want your hand like this or like this. So you want to keep your hand in a neutral position. So your wrist is in a neutral position. So, and when you're sitting, oh yeah, an additional tip actually would be, when you're sitting, try and support your forearms at the table. So at least try and have the part up, below the elbow, at least this bulk of the forearm, try and have this resting at your table, at your desk. So you probably want to adjust the distance of the laptop or the keyboard from your body so that your forearms can actually be supported on that desk. Okay. Now, as I said in my previous video, I'm also going to show you an additional exercise that you can do to stretch out these muscles. There are many of these exercises. If you want to know more about these exercises, you can go to my free community. The link, for those of you watching me on Instagram, the link is in the bio. You can join my community. And for those of you who are watching me on other platforms, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So going back to that additional one exercise that I'm going to tell you. So what you're going to do is sit in this namaste pose. So the moment you do this action, basically this is your wrist in neutral. The moment you do this action, you are stretching that muscle. So in this, you are actually stretching the muscle, and additionally, if you feel you can take it further, then you want to bring, you see this? So basically, you're bringing it back. So try and keep it at your chest level if you can. If you find it very difficult, you can come towards the neck as well. And try and take this wrist backwards. So basically, we're working on my right. Yeah. So, and you're using your left side to push the right in here. If you think you can do this at the level of the neck, then slowly move down the chest and all the way to your upper abdominal area. So moving from the neck to your upper abdominal area basically gives you more of a stretch. So try doing it at the easy level. Once you get to the end range of the wrist extension, then you want to come down here. Make sure you are not doing this at the shoulder. So you are not hunching your shoulders up or getting your body in a funny posture, okay? So you want to keep your rest of your body in neutral alignment. Alrighty, so that was the 3 tips to manage your golfer's elbow. So first was your cold pack. Second was to take a break from the activity or minimize it. And these are activities that are triggering your golfer's elbow. The third one was to maintain a neutral position at the wrist. And I gave you an additional tip about keeping your forearms supported at the table. And the exercise was keeping your palms in a namaste pose, going from your neck down to your upper abdominal area. Alrighty, so have a look at my community. I'll leave the link in the description, and you can find many more videos on there for the exercises. Alrighty, guys, take care. I'll see you next time. Bye.